Rule number one in life: never trust a politician's word. You know, when the Labour government and Keir Starmer are telling you that they're tackling migration, they're tackling mass deportation, they're doing everything they can to protect our borders and the British people. Well, we know they're lying. And now they're just doing it in plain sight. And Keir Starmer has decided to do one of the biggest U-turns I've ever seen. It's absolutely mind-blowing that he's made this decision. And this is all regarding allowing families into the UK who shouldn't really be coming in. This whole idea of tightening our borders, well, this one's just an opening up of it. This is a big news story on immigration, and I'm going to deliver it to you. Welcome along to True Brit Media. I hope you're well. Thank you for clicking on my video, and welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber. In that note, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. Hit that like button as well if you think Britain needs to tighten their borders, and get in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on Keir Starmer, his U-turn, and your thoughts and feelings around this one. So without a doubt, let's get into it. It's all about what's happening in the Middle East. It's all about Gaza, and it's all about inviting more people to come to Britain as a safe place to refugee. It's just frustrating, especially with all what's happened in the news of recent times with murders on our streets from immigrants, from the fact that they are hurting our children. They are SA-involved cases with our children. And you just see a story like this and you think, why? Why do this U-turn? So here it is, people. This is what's happened today. Keir Starmer has said the following. Students from Gaza can bring family members, says Labour, in major migrant U-turn. What? Or what have you done? Here we go. The evacuation of dependents would be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. You know, when you hear that phrase, case-by-case basis, you know that basically means everyone's allowed in. Everyone's allowed through. You know that's what that's saying. So he goes on to say, Gazans coming to study in the UK on scholarships will be able to bring their partners and children with them in a major U-turn. A cohort of students from the Palestinian enclave took up fully funded places at UK universities in September under special arrangements agreed by the Home Office to bring them safely here. However, some had reportedly said they would not be able to take up the scholarships because it would mean leaving their children behind. The government has now said it will support the evacuation of dependents on a case-by-case basis. A government spokesperson says students coming from Gaza to the UK have suffered an appalling ordeal after 2 years of conflict. They have endured unimaginable hardship, but now can begin to rebuild their lives through studying in our world-class universities. That is why we are supporting the evacuation of dependents of students on scholarships who are eligible to study here under the immigration rules on a case-by-case basis. Dependents must first meet the requirements of the immigration rules, including having variable funding to cover living costs. Look, listen, it's crazy. And the last bit here is, under the proposals, Gazan students will need to apply for partners and children to get a student-dependent visa and meet immigration requirements, which include being able to cover living costs of up to 6,100 outside London or 7,600 in London. I just look at this, right? And I know the number at the bottom says at least 75 Gazan students have arrived in the UK since the government began supporting their evacuations. Let's be real here. Do we honestly believe that the restrictions and the requirements for these students to come and study here in the UK is actually going to be legit? Do we actually believe that these students are going to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis? Or is this, again, the UK doing what they do, which is looking after everyone but themselves? I see this, and I get it. I understand from a retrospective of, you know, we are trying to show our hand to the world that we're a caring, nurturing country, that we wouldn't let people leave their families or wives behind, etc. Imagine if that same energy was put into their own British people. Imagine if that energy was given across every parish, every council, every borough to those who have lived here. Imagine if they would support families' health and social well-being, education, health, day-to-day living, not tax, tax, tax. And so when you hear about Keir Starmer making changes in decisions on other countries and other countries' families, you want to scream to him and say, what about us? What about us? So I get it. Things in the Middle East and Gaza are not easy. They're not great. It's a difficult time, and so many innocent people have been hurt, killed, murdered, lives taken away. But when we think about our country, our situation, I think this is just another sign of a big finger up to us. I really do. I really do. So, look, if that is the decision of Keir Starmer, if that's what he actually believes is the right decision, is the right way in which to treat other families, then that's fine. But we've got ourselves tangled up in a conflict, in a situation that seriously shouldn't be something we're involved in. And that's my thoughts and feelings. And that goes on top of, today again, how I feel the Prime Minister's so out of touch with what's going on in the world. Keir Starmer has actually come out and said today how he wants to stay in power for another 10 years. Another 10 years. Here, I really hope you have a mirror. I'm sure you do in number 10 Down Street. You need to just take 1 minute of your time to look into that mirror and speak to it. Because you need to have a good hard look at yourself. If you honestly believe that you are going to get re-elected in the next general election, then I want to know what you're eating, what you're smoking, what you're drinking, and what special pharmaceutical drug they're feeding you. Because this is absolute delusion. Keir Starmer is adamant that he thinks he can be in charge of Britain for the next 10 years. He thinks he's absolutely got a chance of being re-elected. And it's these tokens of gestures, such as today, that will just turn the British people to shake their heads and go, what are we doing here? When you hear someone make a U-turn, when you hear someone change their mind, when you hear someone be spineless, as a voter, you know that you're not going to look that way. So I think when he comes out and makes these bold statements, I'm going to be in charge for another 10 years, you have to just look at him and go, I'm not having it. So Keir Starmer has been very busy, as always. He's had the whole Rachel Reeves incident that we reported earlier about the fact that she has broken the law, and he was spineless in, doing anything about it. He just said, that's all fine, that's all okay. Yesterday, again, he had to come forward and he was absolutely cooked for his lies in Prime Minister questions and how he couldn't answer a straight up question. And I'm sure tomorrow he'll wake up and there'll be another scandal, another problem, another U-turn, another mistake, and hopefully not another death on his hands. Keir Starmer's Britain is broken, and this is another case of it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you smash a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'm out of here. Ta-da!